The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey is one of the most influential books on personal growth and leadership. Rather than focusing on quick fixes or productivity hacks, Covey argues that lasting success comes from building strong character and developing habits based on timeless principles. The book presents 7 habits that help people become more effective in both their personal and professional lives. The first habit is be proactive. Covey explains that highly effective people take responsibility for their lives. Instead of blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck, they focus on what they can control. They understand that while they cannot always control what happens to them, they can always choose how they respond. This shift from reacting to acting with intention is the foundation of personal effectiveness. The second habit is begin with the end in mind. Covey encourages readers to have a clear vision of the person they want to become and the life they want to create. He suggests imagining your own funeral and asking what you would want people to say about your character and contributions. By defining your values and long-term goals, you can make daily decisions that align with the future you truly want. The third habit is put first things first. Once you know your priorities, you need the discipline to act on them. Covey introduces the idea that not everything urgent is important. Effective people spend more time on activities that are important, but not urgent, such as planning, learning, building relationships, exercising, and personal development. By prioritizing what truly matters, they avoid constantly reacting to crises. The fourth habit is think win-win. Covey believes that life is not a competition where one person's success requires another person's failure. Instead, highly effective people seek solutions where everyone benefits. Whether in business, friendships, or family relationships, they aim for cooperation rather than conflict. This mindset builds trust, stronger partnerships, and long-term success. The fifth habit is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Covey emphasizes the importance of listening before speaking. Most people listen only to prepare their response instead of genuinely trying to understand the other person. By practicing empathetic listening, you create stronger relationships, reduce misunderstandings, and communicate more effectively. Once people feel understood, they are much more willing to listen to your perspective. The sixth habit is synergize. Synergy means that the combined efforts of people working together can produce results greater than what individuals could achieve alone. Covey encourages embracing differences rather than fearing them. Different experiences, perspectives, and talents often lead to better ideas and more creative solutions. True teamwork is built on respect, openness, and collaboration. The seventh and final habit is sharpen the saw. Covey explains that continuous self-renewal is essential for long-term effectiveness. He recommends regularly investing in 4 areas of life: physical health through exercise and proper nutrition, mental growth through reading and learning, emotional and social well-being through meaningful relationships, and spiritual renewal through reflection, meditation, or spending time in nature. Just as a dull saw becomes ineffective, people who neglect self-care eventually lose their effectiveness. One of the book's most powerful ideas is the difference between the circle of concern and the circle of influence. Many people spend their energy worrying about things they cannot control, such as the economy, politics, or other people's behavior. Highly effective people focus instead on their circle of influence, the actions they can actually take. As they consistently act within this circle, their influence naturally grows. Another key concept is the shift from dependence to independence and, finally, to interdependence. Covey explains that true maturity isn't about doing everything alone. It starts with taking responsibility for yourself, but the highest level of effectiveness comes from working well with others. Success is often the result of collaboration, trust, and shared purpose. The central message of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is that lasting success is built from the inside out. Real effectiveness doesn't come from changing your image or learning clever techniques. It comes from developing strong character, living according to principles, and consistently practicing habits that align with your values. These habits require patience and effort, but over time they transform the way you think, work, lead, and build relationships. In the end, Covey reminds us that effectiveness is not about being busy. It's about being intentional. By taking responsibility for your choices, defining your purpose, focusing on what matters most, building meaningful relationships, collaborating with others, and continually improving yourself, you can create a life that is both successful and deeply fulfilling.